Next up, moving up a weight division. This World Championship final will be fought in the 74-kilogram weight class. We have a matchup between Latvia and Germany. First up in the white corner with the white pieces. Put your hands together for the Latvian, Olegs Petrovskis. And his opponent, representing Germany, making his way to the stage in the black corner with the black pieces. Put your hands together for Teschke. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be a 7-round bout for the finals. 4 on the board, 3 in the ring. Winner by checkmate or knockout. This is a very strong chess matchup, and I'll be handing over the mic to Peter to commentate the chess.
Thank you. Please rest your voice. We need it for the even more exciting finals that await. You know, we're going to have some top-notch battles coming up in the next, couple of hours.
Well, in terms of chess, this is already top-notch.
Yeah, this is top-notch. I mean, both guys are, 1900 or so?
No, Oleg is at least 2100.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Oleg is 2100.
And so he has white. And with
also
black,
white with the advantage.
He has played just perfect fury in the Carlsen style with this a6 and allowing the exchange on d5. This was considered, let's say, 20 years ago, this would not be considered so good for black. But now Carlsen has put it on the map.
Yeah.
And just like, okay, this position is just equal, and I'll even win with it because I'm just much better than everybody else.
But I was told by Joseph, by the head of the German team, that they have high hopes for this.
Well, he's already
final.
blundered the pawn on h7. The knight on f6 was pinned. Oleg went to h7, took the pawn,
came back.
So now,
so it's a bit of a, I wouldn't call it blunder, but
kind of
a blunder. Yeah, forgetfulness. Yeah.
So I think Oleg is just going to sit on that. He's not going to make much effort in the chess. He's just going to play moves,
He doesn't need to. He just needs to, keep the pace, really play, solid game, and he knows he has the advantage in boxing.
I think his next goal now is to get like a minute or two ahead on the clock, and just without any detriment to the position, and then just go to the boxing where, again, normally he has superior skills.
Absolutely, yes. But I think this is not today's, right? What's the German athlete's name again?
Max.
So yeah, Max is. I think Max's challenge here is really not to be behind on the clock, because Oleg is going to push the pace, and he knows that it's going to get tough and hot in the boxing round for him. So some pressure, to play and keep the pace, but we can see he's already taking the time to think, and he's behind.
Yeah, this was the problem with losing that pawn, is now he feels obligated to be in some kind of defensive mode. He has to turn up with something.
Yep.
You know what the rule is, huh? It's the famous Dorfman rule. If you are better statically, you never play dynamically, because you don't win the game twice.
Right.
But if you are worse statically, you have to play dynamically. So now he has to come up with stuff.
With something, yeah.
And so either he finds this counterplay by hand, but because of the type of position he chose in the opening, it's kind of sterile for that purpose.
Correct.
And there's the bell. Chess round over. Both men making their way to the ring, gloving up. In the German corner, Coach Robert and Leonard Bachting getting their fighter ready to face the Latvian Oleg. Once again, Latvia in the white gloves, Germany in the black gloves. Determination on the face of both men. Seconds out from this first boxing round in the World Championship Finals. A massive thank you to Yerevan, Armenia for their hospitality during this World Championship. The referee in charge, the Russian Andrei, signaling the judges, time creeper. Everyone's ready, there's the bell. And we are right into the action. Max springing into action, the German coming forward with his head down. Oleg with a jab, keeping the German at bay. Immediately the Russian coming inside. Bull rushing his opponent right into the ropes. A nice 1-2 lands for the Latvian. Back to the action. Another 1-2 lands for Oleg.
He's a bull.
Yeah, the German's
and
like
right
a
into
bull.
the clinch.
He knows his only chance is to move forward and, just...
A nice jab lands for Oleg. In the clinch, both men separate. Time in, a nice hook to the body lands for Oleg. Both men in the regular stance, a big right hand for Germany. Germany with reckless disregard. Coming in, big right hands, looping left hooks. Oleg opting to clinch. Right again, the bull rush from the German. For the third time coming in with his head down. That is a point deduction against the German for coming in head down. A 1-2 lands for the Latvian. Big looping left hooks, right hook to the body, right hook to the head. Oh, a right cross landing to the chin of the German. And back to the action. 1-2 landing for the Latvian. 1-2 punch being a jab and a cross. That cross coming through. A big right hand for the Latvian. Another right and another. And an overhand right from the German. 1-2s from the Latvian. 10 seconds to go. And a matador left hook to circle and finish this boxing round. Beautiful boxing on display. Germany, the more aggressive fighter, but with that point deduction and with the straight jabs and crosses landed by the Latvian, slight edge to the Latvian on winning that round.
I definitely believe that the aggressivity is a defensive means rather than a go all in kind of have to win at the boxing. It's just cutting that distance and diminishing the technical superiority by taking the fight to him.
In technical boxing, he wouldn't stand a chance, so he's just storming forward, not to let Oleg work, and that's very smart. But it requires stamina, strength, physical strength, so he's doing everything right, I think, Max.
And courage.
Yeah, Matt, that strategy can pay off. It is high risk, high reward. The risk being that point deduction with the head down, the reward being some of those big overhand rights that were landed. And we are getting back to the chess. Earplugs coming in. Once they're in, share a little tidbit of information here.
So technically speaking, white is a little better. There's no doubt about it. There is an extra pawn on the board anyway. And now he's proceeding to... Oh, that's nice little. It's a very typical kind of maneuver in this kind of
Man, why not b6?
But potentially minority
Knight
attack.
b6 was a missed hook.
He might well have missed something indeed, because naturally when you go to a4, the square that you're most of the time aiming for.
I said miss hook. I meant miss fork. Mixing boxing and chess, but a miss hook on b6, miss fork on b6.
Oh, you said hook.
And I will share just something about the boxing. I was talking to Oleg before this fight. He has had an injured right hand, and he didn't throw his right hand at all yesterday. He said he took some pain meds so that he was able to throw his right hand today, and he landed multiple right hands in that round. That kept Max at bay.
So let's count the pawns. 2-5 for black. Is that 5-7? So he must have won a second one along the way somewhere. Now he's just going to look to simplify, keeping the pace. Chess can be simple sometimes. There's no need to make it complicated. He's eyeing the weakness. I don't think it's even really to take it. Well, it might be. The thing is, he doesn't want to give him any kind of counterplay. And so, you see what he's doing? He played queen b4, black covered up. He played queen c3. He's just pressing that clock, keeping the advantage. He doesn't mind going back into the ring if that's necessary. Queen e7, he's going to have to mix it up a little bit to avoid a free-fold repetition, but there's plenty of squares for the queen. You know, he could go to whatever square he wants. And then maybe he's thinking while he's doing this, doing something else. He did offer
simplification.
He did offer an exchange of queens, doubling the pawn, and black would have got that open A file. He would have got a little something, but yeah, 2 pawns more, probably more than enough to go a little bit wrong and give a little something back, rather than just go around in circles. Queen c4, keeping up the pressure, and again, a little bit of a time waster there, just pressing the clock. It also has a psychological effect when you go from this, I'm not doing anything, and then black is kind of has to repeat that and not do anything himself, to actual moves that you do have to think about.
It is a tough end game. Over a minute time advantage for white with 10 seconds to go.
Oh, now the king's open.
And there's the bell. So advantage for white, pawns, but a pretty gridlocked kind of position here.
Well, it used to be gridlocked. I'm just afraid that with his last move, the move f5 is generally a move that does, you know, open things up and leave you vulnerable.
Got some inside information that I'm going to share after the fight, but it's just interesting to add to the story here.
If it's about the right hand, I just shared it.
Yeah, no, not just that. There's more to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see how it goes. But still, I mean, the difference in the boxing is significant, and I think Max is doing everything right to eliminate the technical superiority of Oleg, because in a technical fight, he wouldn't have many chances. But, you know, great courage by Max. We'll see if he continues sticking with this game plan that we had.
And a very difficult style to try to pull off. Bull rushing in, using a lot of energy, taking a lot of risk. We'll see how it pays off for him this round. Good straight shots by the Latvian. Getting inside is the German. Good leaping left hook. The Latvian now in the corner. The German slugging away with that right hand. Right hooks to the body and to the head. A nice circle into space with straight shots from the Latvian. Looks like we are tending to a bloody nose. Just wiping off a little blood or spit from the cheek of Max. He's able to continue. And we are back to the action. A nice pivot left hook, getting back to space and going right into the clinch, using time effectively. A nice up jab landed by Latvia. Oleg with a left hook. Across down the center. Second warning for coming in with the head down. And a warning for pulling down on the head with the arm of the Latvian. So equal warnings there. Multiple cautions from both. A nice left hook lands for the Latvian. Strong shots and back to space is the Latvian. The outside fighter circling. Max darting in, wailing away on the left arm of the Latvian with his right hook. Similar caution, same thing the point was deducted for. Right hand lands. A nice stiff jab. He can't leave it out, but it did land. Oh, a right hand gets through for Germany. Oleg covers up. He may be injured. And back to space. Germany giving no rest time, coming right back into range. 10 seconds remain. And a third warning for head coming down and rushing in. And a second warning for Latvia for pulling down on the head. There's the time. Now a quick reminder on how the rules work. If there are 3 of those stoppages or warnings in a round or 4 in a match, it is match over. If this does make it back to another boxing round, if Germany receives 1 more warning, it is over. If there's a stoppage against Germany, it is over. If there are 2 more warnings or stoppages against Latvia, it is over. So those warnings do matter. Those point deductions do matter. Keep an eye on that. They keep doing the same thing after repeated reminders from the referee not to do that thing. Both men, please make your way back to the chessboard.
And it's back to the chessboard where Max has some other type of difficulties to manage. And they're off. So yeah, with his last move, f5, it's opening up the king, and white knows it only too well. Queen d5 is kind of a necessary evil now.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to simplify, but he has no choice. Oleg has the luxury of the option he prefers to take.
He can trade or evade.
Yeah, it's a question of taste. I personally would have done exactly the same thing. The king is in no danger. He's still advancing that to get a little bit of space for the king. I'm not sure that was necessary, to be honest. It is giving black counterplay, so in as much as it does that, and I think that's a smart move. You take the b6 pawn rather than the d or the f, because that's where the counterplay can come. So that's what you want to get rid of first, right? He's in no hurry to take b6. He's remaining solid where he needs to be. Once the b6 pawn is gone, there's an extra 2 pawns again. The king is cut off. this is strategically finished.
And much more active king for white, able to scoot into to that pawn chain in the middle of the board for black.
Absolutely. It has a little bit of an issue trying to get off the third rank and into the position, in as much as he'll take on f2 with a check. But this is another way of doing it. This is a way of actually exchanging. It might seem like he's, like a moth dashing towards the light that's going to eventually kill him. But in the simplification,
really good metaphor there. That is exactly what's happening, because once that king makes his way over, the white king has free reign after the exchange to scoop up those pawns.
Oh, I've been waiting for years to get that one out.
You nailed it. Perfect timing. And black smartly just using up his available resource of time. Now giving up the pawn.
But black was very smart in going to c6 and not c7, because otherwise white would have just simplified by checking and exchanging the rooks. Now, again, the technical job still needs to be done. As you can see, he's giving him difficulties. So he's cutting the king off again. Very well played. Right? He's going to the other side with big threats. Okay? And now
liquidation.
This is all very textbook, but he's doing it at such a speed. And there's 35 seconds on black's clock. There's another thing to be reminded of. Does the German really want another boxing round?
You know,
it's his only chance, but
it's his only chance. But with how many warnings came in the last round, it's very risky, because there's one warning away from a decision, and it looks like the German style is what he's getting warnings for, which is bull rushing in with his head down. So both fighters need to be careful about doing what has been warned not to do by the WCBO referee, Andre. But hopefully we do not see this come to a decision based off of warnings. Hopefully we see this come to fruition in either the ring or the board in a decisive way, checkmate or knockout. We are just a few seconds out from continuing this World Championship final here in Yerevan, Armenia. For those tuning in around the world, thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for supporting chess boxing. Share it with your friends. 10 seconds to go. Seconds out. Signal from the referee, and fight. A jab from Oleg, keeping the German at bay. Germany coming in immediately, rushing in with his head up. A nice 1-2 lands for Latvia. And another. Now a warning against Latvia for his head down. Just a caution, not a warning, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, just a caution. I thought that might have been a third warning. A left hook goes wide. A right hand finds its mark. Germany with Latvia on the ropes. Big right and left hands coming in. Giving everything he's got in each one of these punches. Expending a lot of energy. Separation by the judge. And here we have it. Second caution in this round for head down for Germany. Right hook lands to the body for Germany. Second caution for head down for the Latvian. Big right hand lands for Latvia. And another. Latvia covering up. Germany wailing into his guard. Big right hand for Germany. And another going into the guard of Latvia. Just cautions this round. A big hand, big right hand going wide. And a right hand lands. They had not been separated out of the clinch. I think that was legal. I think the German expected the clinch to continue, but the Latvian landed a legal punch. Protect yourself at all times. That knockdown scored. This is the fourth stoppage. 10-second warning. 1 point deduction. And dime. Gentlemen, a very confusing end to that round. Let me try to make light of it. In the second boxing round, there were 3 warnings against Germany, 2 warnings against Latvia. If there were 4 stoppages in a fight, it is over. Those 3 warnings count as stoppages, meaning that last punch landed that scored a stoppage for Latvia is the final stoppage of the match. Meaning that the winner in the white corner from Latvia in this World Championship final, Olegs Petrovskis.
Regrets in as much as the chess was
well fought by the German, executing his strategy, making it very difficult for the Latvian to come out on top, earning his silver medal. But Oleg taking home the gold for Latvia. A very intense fight, back and forth all the way through. Well fought by both men.